Okay, Fatty Slim, welcome to the channel. Thanks a lot for doing this with me. How are you doing today?
Good. How about yourself?
I can't complain, can't complain. They don't pay me enough for that anyways, right?
Unfortunately, we don't get paid to think.
That's right. We don't get paid to think, we just get paid to do. So, what we're going to do today, we were talking a little bit before we started. You wanted to look at like a top-down kind of a look at your account, see if you're kind of doing the right things and give you a little bit of advice. Is that what I'm feeling?
Correct.
Okay, perfect. So let's start first off by looking at your equipment. So just go straight to your profile for me. Okay, so you're an infantry main. You're just about to get that last red equipment, which is perfect. Now
Yes.
you're focusing armor, or you're focusing parts for infantry, which is perfect. You're kind of right around the same as my original account. So
Well, as you know, we all make mistakes starting off, and this is my original, and I got two more, so I've kind of learned a little bit from my mistakes. So it's kind of made a big difference.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say you have very many mistakes. Like, I mean, you do have blue parts, so we have
Yeah.
used some parts where we didn't need to, but
Yeah.
we're only talking blue, so it's not like it's a big deal, right? If they were all purple, it'd be some big mistakes. Um,
Sure.
but I think where you are is actually not too bad. So I think one of your big focuses, especially as a non-spender or low spender, things like that, is to look at some of these parts where you can get some. Because
Gotcha.
getting those into orange, red, and then eventually white. Because I'm looking at your account age, right? 141 is a pretty old account. You've been playing for what, 900 and something days or so right now.
That's correct.
So at around that age, we want to start looking at getting some orange and red parts on there.
Okay.
Just because as much as parts aren't as influential as they used to be, they still have absolute benefit, right?
Yes.
So we want to get some of those parts kind of when you can. Get that backpack part to purple and then focus on your infantry ones.
Okay.
So if you look at your backpack middle one, that's going to be your squad damage. Now, here becomes the conversation on whether you focus on your backpack or your other ones for your infantry.
Okay.
And if I were you, my best advice, like I said, is just to get the compass to purple and then focus on your knife and your vest. Just because, as an infantry main, our biggest thing is like being as tanky as we can, right?
Yes.
We're not out there to deal damage. Unfortunately, that's not our goal. We're not out there, crunching damage numbers. Our goal typically is to absorb as much as we can. And the amount of parts that you put into the Vanguard backpack to get the damage reduction isn't nearly as beneficial as what you can do to, say, get your defense and your HP jacked up, especially HP. HP should be your first one that you focus on anyways.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay? Because HP is one of the hardest stats to get in the game, so stacking HP has more benefit.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay. So, I mean, other than that, you're doing pretty well. Like I said, you're getting to red parts. You should have those red boots shortly, I assume, probably next TC or something like that.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then once you get that, I mean, like I said, it's basically just focusing on parts at that point. If you're looking at which parts on your knife and your vest to do, I always suggest HP. Get your HP ones up first. That's where I got my first red part, or first white part, pardon me.
HP would be which one? I guess the
leather sheath, or that one, or the if you click on the vest, it's a different one. It's the canteen.
Yeah.
No, on the vest, not the backpack.
Oh, the vest. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, magazine pouch. There you go. But it's pretty easy. Squad HP, defense, attack. Focus on your HP. Get that up as high as you can.
Okay.
Because defense you'll stack naturally, attack you'll stack naturally, stuff like that. So get your HP up first.
Perfect. Okay.
Now, I do want a precursor. Remember, all of this is taken with a grain of salt. This is just my experience, my advice. You can take it as you will, learn from it or not. Totally up to you. Right?
Well, it makes sense for sure.
Yeah, and I think, especially because, like you mentioned, you don't spend very much now. And I'm kind of on that. Like, I spend a little bit. I spend a couple $100 a month, maybe, which isn't a lot compared to the game itself. People look at that and it's not. So
I may spend like 25 to 50.
Yeah.
I
So
used to spend 400, but not
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. So I mean, we all kind of go through these, these back and forths. But now that you're only, we limit our spending. We want to be super exclusive, and I think a lot of my advice is kind of tailored to the free to play player or the low spending player. And hyper focusing just becomes the best resource or the way to use the resources that we get. So focusing on your infantry HP, focusing on your defense, right? Getting those stacked up to white is you should see the more amount of influence that way, I think.
Okay. Perfect. I'll work on that.
Okay. So that's going to handle equipment. Let's back out of there. Obviously, refine them as you can. And in regards to refining, I think it's fair to refine them all evenly. I refined all my infantry, but looking back now, I'm doing the rest evenly. So refine them as you need to. Okay, next let's look at. You said you wanted to talk about armaments. Let's talk first. It's something I always want to talk with people is about farming. I see you've got you've got a pretty good collection of resources, but I want to make sure that we're doing the best that we can.
Sure.
So we'll look at you. Do you want to show me what you do for farming, if you don't mind? Like how do you farm?
Basically, right now I'm doing mostly wood and tomatoes because you seem like you use a lot when you're in infantry.
No. Sorry, let me rephrase. Not what do you farm, but how do you farm? Like if you were to go out and send a node, say you wanted to send to that food node, how would you do it?
Just like I just search it and do it.
So search, gather, and then you just let whatever it sends?
That's what I usually do.
Do you have them saved as your farm lines yet?
Say it again.
Do you have farm lines saved?
I do not. That's one thing I never did save. I just usually just sent them out and went on.
Okay, so let's balance that out a little bit. Just because I find again, it's about being resourceful, right? And one of the toughest things about this game is managing resources, because not only do you have to be able to farm lots, but you have to be able to farm efficiently. And if you send all 5 of your marches out to go farm and one comes back in an hour and a half and one comes back in 2 hours and 15 minutes, well, that's 45 minutes of imbalance, inefficiency, right?
Correct.
So ideally what we want to do is have those 5 marches be as close to the same farm time as your others.
Okay.
Right? So what we're going to do is we're going to save out your 5 marches, right? Your 5 basic marches to farm at least one of every node and then one of extra node.
Okay.
And then this will give us some more ideas on what to do. Now, before we do this, I actually have one question. Go into your shelter for a second and go to your cars. Show me what you have for cars.
I've quit building cars.
Good.
So, which I need to kill a bunch of.
Shit. Okay. So I'm going to give you another tip and advice. And this is personal opinion. Okay. When you look at the cars, number 1 bring a lot of weight and they don't do anything because you're never fighting with them. When you fight, if you get hit at your shelter, they go to your aid station or your hospital at a higher rate. So they're going to fill your hospital with, troops that you're not going to be fighting with. They bring a lot of extra might. They bring a lot of extra rating. And if you don't know how the rating works, that's what gives you your actual matchmaking inside of the war zones.
Yes.
Okay. So one of the things that we have to be very conscious and aware of is what our battle rating and what our might is. So I give this advice. The only benefit you have to having higher level troops or higher tiered cars specifically is that they bring back additional resources. So a level 5, I believe, I believe tier 4 or tier 5 brings back 8% more additional resources and tier 6 brings back 10% additional resources. Yes. But the amount of extra weight that it brings in regards to might, in regards to rating, and the lower tier ones are faster, right? So there's a lot of negatives. If you fill your hospital with cars, they're much harder to fix. They're much more harder to build. They're much more expensive to build, right? I'll give you an example. Look at building 2,000. Don't build them, but just see how expensive it is. Go to your tier 1 cars.
Yeah, nothing.
Right. And repairing them is nothing. Okay. It's even, the time is even less. Okay. So here's my advice. You want enough tier 1 cars to fill 5 marches farming food or wood, right? The biggest nodes that you can.
Uh-huh.
And then delete every other car above that. So ideally, you're going to build about 160,000 to 170,000 tier 1 cars.
Yes.
And hard delete all the rest of them.
How do you hard delete them? I've only known that you just kill them in like tower raids.
Okay, click the X here. I'll show you real quick. Click on the barracks, but click the info button. Right there, there's a little negative.
Okay.
So if you click that real quick for me, and you slide that up, you have almost 9 million might in just cars.
Basically, I could lower that down to somewhere around there then.
Yeah, you could, from your F5 tier 5 cars, you could right now delete 700,000 of them easy. Immediately, and you would still be able to farm every single node. No. You would want to go all the way up to 700,000.
Oh, 7. Gotcha.
Yeah, you want to delete 700,000 cars.
I wish I'd let you type it in.
Yeah, I wish they would too. I mean, 701 is fine. It doesn't have to be specific. 699 is fine too.
I'm just going to delete them now.
Yep.
I had no idea you could do that.
Yep. And now we've just dropped how much might off, and you'll still have more cars than you'll ever need. Now people will say, well, what about when I want to farm inside of I want to farm inside of an alliance node?
I don't do that.
Good. The alliance node farming is the stupidest farming ever, especially since they added the auto gatherers. And if you haven't bought anything, I would suggest saving up to buy the auto gatherer at least the first couple of levels, so that you can have a couple of them. Like I've got 3 that farm for 8 hours on my farming account.
Uh-huh.
And it makes AL a breeze. I log in twice a day to send out 3 farmers, and they farm consistently on those nodes. It's literally game changing. So if you're ever going to spend on anything, I would definitely suggest spending on the first couple of levels of the auto farmer at least.
Okay.
Right. But even then, you never use the alliance node. So effectively, only the amount of cars that you need is enough to farm 5 level 7 nodes. And that's it. That's it. You can delete every other one. And so what I would suggest you doing from here is starting to build tier 1 cars. Right? Start building tier 1 cars so that you can delete the tier 5 cars. Yes, it means that you're not getting the bonus resources, but it also means you're not getting the bonus healing costs, the bonus building costs, the bonus might and raiding costs, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to do is be as low a might as possible, but punch as hard as possible.
Right.
Right? That's the game. So, now that we understand that, let's go look at let's setting up your farming line. So let's go search for a level 7 food node. Let's go gather. And the hero that you're going to send out, the first hero is going to be Sarah. So I want you to lead that march with Sarah. And the second hero I want is Chris, is the level 20 you have right there at the top. The blue girl with blonde hair.
There she is.
Yeah. Now I'm going to give you a trick. Okay. Click the clear button for a second. If you ever want to make sure that your march is going to collect the node properly, click on your co-leader's image again. No, the co-leader's image.
Oh, the co-leader.
Yeah, click on Chris. Click on the co-leader's image again. Like click. Why is it?
Yeah,
going
I'm clicking
away?
on.
Okay. Well, just click on someone else and then go back to her.
Okay.
And go back. It'll automatically fill in the amount of troops that you need. So now what we're going to do is we're going to save that march because that is the minimum amount of troops that you need. I always save them in the green side of things as your number 1 green march. You got to click the save file button. No, that's the folder button.
Yes, there we go. Sorry.
No worries. No
My
worries.
brain went bad.
They both look like saves to me. It's fine. I put files in there all the Okay, so next, let's send her out. Let's send that march out.
Okay.
Go find me a level 7 wood node. We'll do the same thing for wood. And this one's going to be led by Jeremy. He's the guy that you have there in the co-lead right now. So you have to take him out of co-lead first. No, you know he's right there. Yeah. And then the next one's going to be the old lady Michelle. Yeah. And as you can see, it's already loaded at 1.32. So now we're going to click the save button. And save that as your number 2.
Okay.
Okay. Send him out too. Find me a level 7 steel. We'll do the same thing for your steel. Now, you won't use your steel necessarily to farm steel as much, right? Because obviously we're doing food and wood. But we still want to save it so that it's still available to us as our fastest one for steel. And this one's going to be with Alexander Sokolev. So lead that with Alexander. And the second one for steel is the girl in the blue girl with brown hair. Yep, Angela. And then save that as your number 3 green line.
Wait a minute. Damn.
No, there you go.
There we go.
Send that one out. And then we'll go find a level 7 oil.
Okay.
And this one should auto-populate. Yeah, that's your line for oil. So save that for oil, level 4. Send that one out. Now we're going to go to a level 7 food or wood. Doesn't matter. Level 7 food or wood. Go send out to the biggest one. Create squad. So you have it as Andrew Morrison, Back Alley Doctor. It doesn't really matter who you lead with. They're both the same. I guess it's going to depend on what you have for their talent trees. So make sure you do the gathering talent tree all the way up for those guys.
Yes.
But that's going to be your 5th line. So save that one as your number 5 green.
Okay.
Okay. So now when you're farming, you can recall all those marches now. Because we don't need them. It's just to make sure that we didn't have them. Now basically what you can do is you can search for a level 7 food node, farm, send out your number 1 march. Wood is number 2, steel is number 3, oil is number 4. Now let's say, for example, you're wanting to do just food. Okay? Click on a food node, a level 7 food node. That's fine. Click gather. Click on the number 4 green. But instead of sending it out, this is where I'm going to show you the trick. Click on Sia again. And then click on her image. It auto-populates. You see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
So it'll auto-populate the amount of Hummers that you need or the amount of vehicles that you need in order to farm that node. So you can still send them out as their respective teams and still get the close farming times that you'll have. Because what this will do is it effectively brings your farms back. All of your farms will come back within about 6 or 7 minutes.
That's interesting. I didn't even know that was even an option. So yeah, I like that.
Right. So now when you send up, you log in once, send them all out an hour and a half later or an hour and 45, depending on what your speed is, 2 hours maybe. You can log back in and send them all out again, and you're not having to wait 40 minutes between the first march getting back and the last march getting back.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, I do see that you have the gathering armament on them, the main gathering armament on each.
Yes.
So let's talk armaments, because I feel like you're going to have some questions about that one. Am I right?
Correct. I just want to make sure I've got the ones I've got set up for infantry and, the gatherers correct.
Sure. So let's take a look at what you've done, and then we can decide what to do from there. So where are your strongest heroes? Show me your strongest ones. Can you do me a favor and from the drop-down menu, sort it by might so I can see what you're working with? And then scroll up to the top. Okay, so Miyamoto, Eileen, something on Chasey and Julia, and then Boyd.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any equipments on, like any armaments on Adut and Jaden in them too?
No, I don't have anything on those. Rigoro, anybody.
Okay, so you just have it on those five, right?
Just the ones that's usually the ones I'll send out, but most of the time it's a Dut. Maya and a Dut who I send out in single battles.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, and then what does your Bodala look like? You have Bodala as well or no?
I do somewhere.
Riven's at 60, that's good.
Where is he?
There
Right
he is.
there. Haven't really done much with him.
Okay, so you're going to want to.
Okay.
Your top offensive line in the field right now is Bodala Eileen. Miyamoto Adut does well, but Bodala Eileen is like ace right now, so it's like a step better.
So this one needs to lead and Eileen secondary.
Yeah, and we're getting into some new heroes that'll be coming here over the next 6 months. So, and that new hero is probably going to be the best thing. So I would actually probably focus instead of on Bodala, I would probably focus on Eileen instead. Because Eileen is she's basically like Miyamoto, but better. So you can run.
Yeah, I've almost got her maxed.
Pardon?
I've almost got her maxed out,
That's perfect.
Awakened.
Once you do, then I would look at Bodala. I'd get her done and then Bodala next.
Okay.
Unless, like, are you a Garrison player for your team or are you a field fighter? Like, what's your focus?
I just field fight.
Okay. So if we're looking at doing that, then yeah, you definitely want to get Bodala up there as well. Because then you can have your two best lines is probably going to be Eileen, like Bodala, Eileen, and then Adut Miyamoto.
Okay.
And having those is pretty substantial, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. I am a little concerned. You do fight with do you fight with ranged and riders as well?
I do some. I did for a while, but I've kind of just started backing off that a little bit, probably in the last month, because I noticed how quick they melt.
Sure. So this is my best advice. Go to her armaments for a second. I want to see what you have for her armaments. So you've got a couple of superbs. Yeah, that's a superb. That one is. I don't think the boots are though.
No.
Or the pants. Okay.
Only the handle and the gun.
Okay, so you've got potential. Go to your infantry or rider set or range set. Sorry, because I see you're working on a range set too. Okay, so here's my best advice, because again, what we're talking about doing is being as efficient as we can, hitting as hard as we can, and using our resources to the best of our abilities. Right? That's what we're kind of focused on.
Great.
Let me ask you a question. Do you fight with ranged or riders in the field anymore?
If it's anything, it's range. I try not to send any riders out.
Okay. Let me ask you another question. As an infantry main, should you be sending ranged and riders in the field?
Couldn't, no.
Okay. So we can agree, as an infantry rider, you should not be sending them in the field. So I want us to take away that, like in my world, I would take away that what's it called? That I can't even think of the word. When you get when something's is like tantalizing you, but it's not. Take away the
like your kind of like FOMO.
Yeah, take away
away
the bait, if you will. I want to take away the bait.
Gotcha.
Okay? Now, don't get me wrong. There will be a time when you will be fighting and you will be using your ranged and you will be using your riders, right? But right now, we can comfortably relegate them to filling rallies, filling garrisons, and doing their part there.
Correct.
In which point in there, you don't have to have armaments. You don't have to have that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Right?
Because your armaments are based off the leader.
Exactly. It's the only thing you're providing is extra troops. Everything is running off the leader's armaments, the leader's beasts, the leader's heroes, things like that. Now, that doesn't mean demolish all of your stuff. I would suggest demolishing everything that isn't a superb for your ranged and rider sets. So you have a couple of superbs for both, and you will develop them over time. But by the time you end up using them in the field, right? Like I'm at almost 200 million and I still only fight infantry in the field. I know a lot of infantry mains that are in the same boat. So it'll be a long time before you start using them to fight in the field where they will be effective.
Gotcha.
Right? So in my advice is to work on one set at a time, one set of superbs for your ranged and your riders, and then demolish the rest and use those parts to upgrade the armaments for your infantry heroes. Now, I noticed your squads, if you back out here and go to your squads for a second, just your profile so I can see what your squads look like. You've got way more infantry than anything else. And that's what we want to be able to use. Right? That's what we want to be able to be as efficient as possible. So every other armament that you have on your infant or on your ranged or your riders that you're not using is adding to your might, adding to your rating, making your matchmaking harder.
Correct.
So the concept then becomes, let's shed all of that weight, all of that rating, and use those parts to make our infantry stronger.
Okay.
Okay. So let's look at your armaments real quick and let's do us a favor and take off the armaments from all of your heroes that have armaments on them. And I like the fact that you don't have armaments on a lot of heroes.
Yeah, I just do basically like those high performance motors. That's basically all I'm doing. So you want me to take those off as well, or just leave those?
No, take them all off. Take everything off because we'll put them back on when we go through, because I want to talk about your gathering heroes, because there are armaments you do want to put on your gathering heroes eventually.
Okay.
And kind of at your might, you're kind of at the right position to start looking at the future. Do you know what I mean? Like you're at a right position to start looking about what it's going to be in the bigger game, because you do have a 1.5 million tier 6. That's a huge thing to have at a smaller might.
Okay.
Which means that you're kind of at a stage where you can start to be more influential. Okay, I think you got them all.
I think I'm all. Yeah.
Perfect. So here's what I want to do. Let's go back and equip them one at a time.
Okay.
On the heroes that we want to use. So we know we want to use Miyamoto. So let's go to Miyamoto at the top. And instead of quick equipping, let's go through one at a time and kind of talk about what we're trying to do.
Okay.
So, yep, we're going to put on your welding helmet. It's the best one you got.
Sure.
Here, obviously, your superb is one you're going to be working on, but use your spike shotgun.
Strike with the spike.
Yep, go with the spike. That's fine. Do me a favor, quick. Go to your helmet a second. I just want to see if we've got the right hones on there. Block, lethality, attack. Good. Yeah. So let's go to your boots. Now, for these ones versus the defense ones, click on your defense ones for a second. Yeah, obviously we're going to go with the bigger ones first. You got the red hone on there, so we'll go with those ones first. But as soon as you get another level on your superbs, like basically it's going to work like this. A level 5, a fully fleshed out legendary is about the same value as a level 3 superb. So a level 3 is about the same as a level 1 or a level 2. Okay. So you get another superb boots, you can look at switching those over. But for right now, I'd still use the plated boots anyways. Having the extra attack is good.
Okay.
Again, defense, lethality, attack. Good hones. That's what we're looking for. Let's rock those pants. Go to your other ones first. I'd probably do your stealth pants.
Okay.
Just because they're higher level at the moment. I mean, your hones are all looking pretty good. I'm not seeing too many like rally and garrison hones, which is great.
Yeah. I've cut all those out if I could.
That's good. That's good. You want them to be, especially working in the field, you want to be as fluid as you can. Backpack. What's your other backpack look like? I might actually go with the Cayman backpack.
Okay.
I might go with the Cayman backpack over the other one. Just because you got a lot of attack on there, having some balance and defense is good too.
Okay.
Go with your vest. See, here's a prime example. A level 1 vest is going to be your best bet.
Yeah.
It's a
So that one there then.
Yeah, your level 1 superb. What do you have for devices? Nice. Level 2 IE augmenter. Go ahead and equip that bad boy. And then probably the mask. Yeah, a little bit of travel speed on there you could probably get rid of. You do have a rally basic attack you can get rid of.
I wonder why I put it there. Oh, because it wants me to do the device thing, and I'm not doing it. Okay.
It wants you to put on something else. So obviously, I mean, you do your hones are looking pretty good. There's a couple that you want to change out. You do have a travel speed. Now, when it comes to travel speed, I'm a huge proponent of not having travel speed because infantry by our own rights isn't necessarily going to be fast anyways, but we are not the slowest. So we are keeping up to the ranged 9 times out of 10, especially if you're using someone like Miyamoto and Adut or Bodala and Eileen, who both have movement speed already built into their kit. So every hone that you have that's more travel speed is a hone away from damage or defense. So I would always look at doing that. And then obviously you do have one that's a rally basic attack. You want to get rid of it kind of as quick as you can on that hone as well.
Okay.
But other than that, that's looking pretty good. So if you back out, your top hero is looking like 2.5. And honestly, what I'd be doing at this point is using your hones to hone out the weakest ones you have every time until you get that set to about a 3 million or 3.5 million, 3 to 3.5.
Okay.
So
yeah, I usually say that for home events.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sitting on the same thing. I'm sitting on about 460 or 470 hones for the next honing event. So I hope
it's a lot more than me for sure.
I hope it starts tomorrow.
Me too.
Okay, so that's on Miyamoto. Who's the next one you want to lead with? Eileen?
I probably Eileen because I use a Dut to run secondary to Miyamoto. So
okay, so for Eileen, you're probably going to be looking at Eileen, Tom, or something like that for a good defensive line. Because Eileen has great damage, but she needs a little bit of defense. And I mean, depending on what you have, that's why you want to run. I like to run Bodala with her because Bodala provides some good defense. So
gotcha.
If all that you've got awakened right now, I mean, you could run Thunder, but Thunder just brings a lot of health. I would prefer something like a Raigaro, even isn't bad. Tom, it would be good. Riven, if you're fighting in your own area, Riven's pretty good too. She's defensively tanky.
Yeah, I haven't done much with her yet either, which
that's okay. She's more of a garrison hero anyway, so if you're not really a garrison, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But like I said, you're probably looking at like Eileen Raigaro or Eileen Tom.
Okay.
As your
I
second
can
line.
play them out and see how they do in battles. See which one does better.
Yeah, feel it out. See which one plays better. But leading with Eileen is going to be your best bet, and you can quick equip this one because we've already got the strongest that we needed. Take away the farming one, obviously. Put on the mask. Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl.
That's right.
And then obviously, the best part about armor bins is that you're just going to be filling out, like you've got a purple helmet, for example. The moment that you get a better helmet, a level, I mean, when you're talking elites to legendaries, a level 1 elite is better than a level 2 or level 3. Like a maxed out tier 5 helmet brings 250, I think, 250,000 might. Whereas you can get that out of a level 2 elite, or legendary, so you want to fill that out as quick as you can.
Okay. Yeah, I was working on his helmet first to get it maxed out, then I was going to work on hers.
Well,
unless I happen to get lucky,
If I could be the first one to tell you, the helmet that you have currently, in my opinion, is not the helmet that you want to work on.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. I'll give you my reasoning, and then you can kind of justify it in your own head. So there's 3 types of damage, right? We've got basic attack damage, counter damage, and skill damage.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how those work?
I do.
Okay. So when I'm attacking someone, I'm receiving counter damage as well. Like if I'm attacking someone with basic attack damage, I'm receiving counter damage. If they're attacking me with basic attack damage, I'm dealing counter damage to them. But if we look at the interactions of where we're actually taking counter damage, there is minimal source as to where you're taking counter damage from.
Gotcha.
There's only one source that is dealing damage. If I get swarmed, for example, there's only one source of counter damage that I'm being dealt. And that's from the one source that I'm attacking directly.
Gotcha.
Right? So,
yeah.
In my opinion, it's better to have the helmet that provides defense, because the other helmet provides infantry defense.
Okay.
So, in my opinion, the one that provides infantry defense is going to be the one that you want to work on, and let the welding helmet, if you get it, it is what it is. I wouldn't invest frags into it.
Okay.
Just because.
So basically work on her.
Well, I wouldn't even work on the purple one, right? You don't want to work on the purples.
Yeah, because it's block as well.
Because it's not the block that I'm worried about. It's the counter damage that I'm worried about. Block is important. Go up to your frags for a second. Do you have a lot of frag choices to choose from?
I've pretty much gotten rid of.
Good. So we're going to start breaking down some things as well and give you some more choice. The biggest thing that we want to do is give you choice, right? We want to give you options that allow you to consolidate the stuff that you have into the stuff that you can use.
Okay.
So if you look at the helmet, for example, go up, you'll see the Stego helm over there.
Yeah.
That's the one that you want to work on.
Okay.
Because that's providing infantry squad defense, which will defend against counter, basic, and skill damage.
When I get my stuff, I'll start buying those instead.
Yeah. Just work on. Well, I'm gonna give you the token so you'll have an idea on where to get them from, kind of every weekend, and what you're going to be looking for every week. Okay. So we got your 2 lines set up. I don't think you need to set up another line. I do not think that you have the resources to set up another line. My best advice is to always be working on one set at a time until that set gets to at least 3 million. And you should only be working with one march at a time until you get that armament set up to 3 million. Once you get it up to 3 million, then you can start working and adding a second march to your setup.
Okay.
But if you're like, even in this situation, you have an Eileen at 1.6, I might not even use her in the field very often. Or I might run Miyamoto Eileen as your one line and then fight with one line. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, just reduce all of her ornaments off of her and just run her with Miyamoto. Or I guess you can keep them on. It doesn't matter either way.
I would keep them on anyways, because you're still going to use them, and it still gives you flex where if you need to have that second march, you can always throw her in the field and have that extra 300,000 troops or whatever it is when it's going to be more sacrificial in that sense, but when you need to have them out, it's good.
Yeah.
But I would put your hones into your Miyamoto set until your Miyamoto set is 3 million, and then put your hones into Eileen until Eileen is 3 million. If you're a field fight, if you're looking for field fighting, you want those sets to be at least 3 to 3.5 million. Okay. That's where you'll start to see some more balance. Because even if they have bigger sets at like 5 and 6, you'll still have decent trades at 3.5.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Sounds good.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So next from here, let's look at outfitting, because we still want to look at having and working on a rider set, and we still want to look at working on a range set. But like I mentioned, we want to look at working on these as the superb sets so that we will have them eventually. So go to your top rider hero, or whoever your favorite rider hero is. I don't care.
I don't really have a favorite.
You don't have a favorite
The one
hero?
that has the most work is hers.
All right, put it on Cynthia.
I have been using some of those too as well, just because Bella has more attack.
Yeah, Bella's great. I can't hesitate on Bella at all. Now, what I would do here is equip all of the superbs and just the superbs.
That was all I had was those two, I believe. Okay.
Perfect. Now go to your ranged hero and do the same thing.
Let's see. Those.
Because you'll level your superbs up naturally as you're lucky enough to get them. But it's a long game where it's not something we're looking at. Now, we do want to do one. Hold on, go back. We got one more thing we got to do.
Okay.
I want you to go to your favorite leader hero. So Claude, probably.
Claude, he is.
And we're going to equip your superbs if you have any. You do have one. That's good. Equip them there. Don't worry about those. That's fine. Perfect.
Yeah.
Don't equip those. We're not going to equip pants.
Yeah.
We're going to keep those off. Now, what we've effectively done is we've taken all the armaments that you're effectively going to use, minus a couple for the sets that you're effectively working on for the future. Right. Now, the choice you can do with your rider and ranged and your leader set is to unequip them if you don't want the extra might, but it's not going to change your rating because your rating includes the armaments that are in your bag as well.
Correct.
Okay. That's why having the extra couple 100,000 might from here isn't going to be a big influence. But I do it that way I don't accidentally demolish them when I'm demolishing the rest.
Okay.
Pretty simple. Now, let's go to your gathering heroes. And we're going to go through one at a time, and I'm going to give you the setup that you're going to want to put on each of your heroes. Because each hero, believe it or not, has a specific set of armaments that you want to work on as well for your farmers. But here's my advice. Use your legendary frags for your fighters. Use your elite frags for your farmers.
Okay.
Use your rare hones for your fighters. Your basic hones for your farmers.
Perfect.
Because farming is just as important as fighting. You have tier 6. You know how expensive they are to heal.
Oh, yeah.
Farming in this game is just as important. And each person has each farming leader has this very specific set of armaments that you want to put on them to guarantee that they get the most out of it and to give you something to build towards in regards to your farming as well. Okay? So first off, go ahead and equip the device that you want to equip. Do you have any that have food gathering on them? Perfect, you do. I see you've done some honing here. This is good.
Yeah, I've done a little bit.
Okay. She is going to want to put on... I'm not sure if you're going to want to write this down or just come back to this, relate to this later. You're going to want to equip her with a pair of boots. So there's a pair of boots that you get for her. It's the rubber boots.
Okay.
They provide food gathering. Okay. You want to provide her with a shovel because that provides overall gathering speed.
Okay.
You want to provide her with something called a, what the heck is it called? A squad jacket or something?
Yeah, I think that's right.
It's the jacket one that provides squad load.
Yeah.
And then you also want to provide her with a strap case. Now, the strap case provides wood gathering speed, but it also provides squad load.
Okay.
So those 4 equipments will provide her with squad load, gathering speed, food gathering speed, and then a ton of honing abilities to put on food, gathering speed, squad load, and travel speed.
Okay.
Okay, so you put those 4 armaments plus her high-performance motor and get those high-performance motors leveled up as balanced as you can. I notice you have a couple that are level 5 and a couple that are level 4. I'm not sure how much honing you've done on them, but there is a way that you can. I'm sure you probably have heard that you can reset them so that you get all of them back as level 1s, and then you can balance them out again.
Yeah, you just have to break them apart, right?
Yeah, there's a button for not demolishing, but it's called resetting. And so it'll take your fully level 5, and then it'll break it down into 10 level 1s. I'll show you how to do that after. Don't worry about it. We'll equip these first, and then I can show you.
Okay.
Okay. So next, go to your oil gatherer. Or actually go to wood, sorry. Go to your wood gatherer. We'll go food, wood, steel, oil. Same as we always do.
Hey, that was...
Jeremy.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah. Go ahead and equip the device. Do you have any with food or wood? Perfect. Just put that on for now. Now, he's going to get the shovel, because remember the shovel is overall gathering speed.
Yes.
right? He's going to get the strap case because the strap case provides wood gathering speed plus squad load. And then the jacket that we were talking about, the flak jacket or whatever the heck it's called. It's the one that provides squad load. I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me. So
I believe it is flak jacket.
I mean, it might be flak jacket or something or something like that. So he only needs 3 armaments because he's double dipping on his backpack.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a benefit there. Well, I guess a negative in the sense that you don't actually get another one to put extra ones in. So, theoretically, you can put the other gathering ones in here as well. Like you could put the food gathering ones on here as well because there is going to be times when he does food. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you could equip him with boots as well. Oh, you got a lot of hones too. That's good. A lot of basics anyways.
Oh yeah, I've got a lot of basics. I've been saving them.
That's good. You'll have a lot to be able to do for your farming afterwards. Okay, so back out. So for him, again, you're looking at the vest, the backpack, and the shovel. Okay. So let's go to steel. That is Alexander, right beside Jeremy.
Yeah, right there.
Again, equip the device.
Well, I need to change them to steel for sure.
What's your other one? Hold on. You have one on Jeremy right now that has wood and steel.
Yeah.
You're going to change it anyways. It doesn't matter. Who cares? It's a green one. Green hones are poop anyways. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So hold on. Go back
I ran
to
out of homes and I never went back.
Yeah. So go to the goggles, the helmet for me for a second. Oh, you don't actually have the right one. That's fine. He gets goggles. Right, he gets a pair of goggles. He's got a pair of oil gathering goggles or steel gathering goggles, pardon me.
Okay.
So for him, you're looking at the goggles, the shovel, the backpack, and the vest. Do you see how they're each kind of getting the shovel, the backpack, and the vest, and then their specific one? It carries through, so it's kind of very simple. Once you understand those the basic ones, the rest of them will come naturally.
Okay.
So go to your oil gatherer. That's Maxine.
Where is she? Right there. That's Angela.
Yeah, Maxine, the gold one at the top.
Yeah, the girl with the dog.
Yep. Girl Maxine.
Okay.
Yeah, she's doing oil. So for oil, you're going to do the same, again, device, shovel, backpack, vest, but she gets pants.
Pants, okay.
Yeah. She gets oil gathering pants.
The gathering thing on it.
Pardon?
So I can change the ornaments on it to make sure she's oil. So
yeah, so like I said, you get there's a pair of oil pants. I think they're even called minor pants or something like that. But yeah, they provide oil gathering. So shovel, pants, backpack, vest, and then work on those specifically. Now, lastly, you already have your device on your other character, so let's go over to him, just so I can talk about him real quick.
Who was it?
The back alley doctor.
Okay.
Mr. Man in Green. For him, you might as well equip him with all of the armaments. Because he's your 5th March. He's going to farm whatever you need him to farm, right? So you want to put the steel gathering one on him. You want to put the oil gathering one on him. You want to put put the steel gathering goggles, the shovel, the food boots, the oil pants, the backpack, the vest. Fully deck him out.
Okay.
Because he's going to be farming everything, so having those on him isn't going to be a problem. And theoretically, right, once you get to the point, you can theoretically outset all of your gathering with all of them because they will inevitably farm all of them a little bit, right?
Yes.
So, but just work on those main 4 for each one first.
Okay. I will do that.
And then, like I said, use your legendary frags on your fighters and your elite frags on your farmers. Whenever you get elite frags, use it on the specific armaments for them instead.
Okay.
Okay. Now back out for a second And let's look at your bag. No. Back out and look at your bag, like your inventory bag.
There you go.
Go to your armaments for a second. Each current armament that you have not equipped, except for any that might be infantry, except for your rhino shotgun, except for your other pants.
Okay.
All of them you can dismantle.
So everything besides infantry.
Yep. Hold on. Let's.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. Click the all button. And then just go through and unlock. I guess you have to unlock them first. So click the unlock button to unlock your jeans and your vest. And your other vest and unlock all of those.
Keep those.
You can unlock that, and you can unlock the thing underneath. Yeah, and you can unlock the other pants and the other pants. Keep scrolling down. So you've got all those selected. That's good. So you got pants there you can get rid of. Those infantry purple pants you can get rid of.
Okay.
Now, you're going to ask me, well, why am I going to get rid of my infantry purple pants? Because you don't need them. Remember, we're looking at legendaries for fighting.
Right.
And you've already got legendary fighting pants that you're working on, so don't worry about that. Now, if you click the all button again, it'll highlight them all. All the ones that you had that were unlocked. Oh, you still have another vest there that you can unlock.
Yeah, I missed it.
That's okay.
Okay.
Make sure we've got everything. Perfect.
Looks like it.
So that's going to give you 243 hones, 28 rares, 10,000 fragments. And it's going to lower your might and rating a decent amount. So I would personally bulk dismantle. I would go to your exchange shop.
Wait a minute, hold here.
And every single week, scroll down. You're going to collect your 5 honing chips.
Yep, I do that.
Perfect. Every single week, you collect your 5 honing chips. Scroll up. Every single week, you're going to fill out at the very top. The rest of these don't matter. Remember, we're infantry. We don't care. You're going to get your weapon choice frags or your choice box and then your 2 specific boxes. So you've got the Rhino gun shield. Yeah, fill out your gun shield as well. Get them all as well.
Okay.
Because you have a gun shield that you're still working on, right? And there will be a time when you're going to want a 3rd set, so having them naturally build is totally fine.
Okay.
And now you've effectively got about 6 weeks of new armaments coming your way.
Perfect.
6 or 7 weeks of new armaments coming your way that you can dump into those sets. And then depending on, obviously, if you get your helmet, you can start to replace the helmet that you have with Eileen. And you don't have to worry about any of these other fragments because any of these other fragments are not superb, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
And if you scroll down, you may be tempted, that's the word I was thinking about, tempted, to buy the elite choice frag boxes. Don't do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because remember, elites are specifically for farming. You will get those over time. I'm sitting on hundreds of them. You will eventually get them to the point where you're going to be building armaments just to dismantle them for parts.
Okay. Yeah, I don't ever buy those.
Yeah, I don't think about doing it. Don't waste your metal is important everywhere else. Same with the regular honing components. You've got so many, don't worry about using them there either.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you back out now, we've dropped your might overall here by about 7 million, 8 million. If you look at if you go to your highest might at 156, we're down to 148. But what we've also done is we've made you leaner. So we've basically gotten rid of what people call the fluff. Okay?
Okay.
This fly won't leave me alone. I raise goats. I mention this all the time, but I raise goats. And
Yeah.
we have some that free walk the yard. So unfortunately, one of the byproducts of goats is goat poop, which is great for the yard, not good for flies.
Yeah, they tend to like that.
They enjoy that shit. So yeah, basically what we've done here is we've started to cut away a lot of the fat, right?
Yes.
And what this will allow you to do is gives you a little bit more focus moving forward. So now we're going to focus on those armaments, filling out those hones, saving those hones so that you use them on the honing chip so you get those guaranteed red hone containers. Don't forget, those are important.
Yes.
Fighting with one march at a time or two if you need to, but ideally only one at a time is going to be your best bet. And just fight with other people, right? Fight with your group. Don't be the only one to go out and fight. Make sure that you're fighting with other people at the same time.
I try to flank as much as I can.
Yeah.
And then if they hone in on me, I try to get away.
Yeah, exactly. And if you've got Miyamoto Adut or Miyamoto Eileen, you're doing the same thing. So that's good.
Yeah.
Be smart about it. Okay, so next let's talk about beasts. First, let's talk vehicles, actually. Let's talk vehicles because it's a quick conversation. I want to see what you've done with your vehicles. Level 7, level 9. Okay. All right, my advice here. When it comes to vehicles, the typical advice is going to be to hyperfocus, but you get a lot of you end up falling victim to what's called diminishing returns. Do you know what that means?
Yes.
Okay. So basically the kind of the benefit I've seen with this, and of course I've talked to other content creators who know this as well, there is kind of a staggering limit you want to kind of level these up. But remember, we're infantry. So we don't want to ever have that balance be outset against us. Okay? So what we still want to do is focus on our attack and defense, so on our engine mod kit and light armor kit. We want to get those to level 10 as quick as we can. Then you want to get your other ones to level 5.
Okay. Level 5, level 3, correct?
Yeah, tier 3, level 5.
Yep.
And then you can look at bringing your main ones up to 15 and kind of addressing where you want to go from there.
Okay.
Even if you want to go a little bit heavier, you can go level 10 on your engine mod, get everything to tier 3 level 1, and then move up to 15 on your infantry, which is fine as well.
Okay.
But number one, you want to get everything to tier 3 kind of as quick as you can. And then you want to get light armor kit and engine mod kit to level 10 level 10 as quick as you can.
Okay.
Now, the reason why there's kind of this staggering effect is because if you click on the light armor kit, for example, I'm just going to explain this. You might already know, but this provides infantry squad defense, but it also provides overall squad protection.
Yes.
So when you level up your range set, it still provides overall squad protection as well. So all of it is collective for every march.
Gotcha.
See what I'm saying? So there is benefit for your infantry to raise your light protection because you're still getting that squad protection.
Which is why I started doing some on the level or the tier 3, level 4 on the light protection. I've been trying to get it up as well.
Yeah. The only difference is we still want to hyper focus the infantry side of things because the amount of chips that you're like the amount of the value that you're getting for the resources to go into your infantry side, because you are getting that attack and defense as well, is still going to be more beneficial than trying to balance those other ones out first. That's why we kind of do it in a staggered effect. So get those to level 10 first, then look at balancing out the other ones, getting them to tier 3 level 1 or maybe tier 3 level 3, and then putting more levels into your infantry and kind of taking a staggered step in it that way. Because that way you'll feel less of the diminishing returns as you're still getting more benefit from the protection and firepower.
Okay.
Okay. But other than that, your device, your weapons are looking good. I like to see the higher side on infantry. But obviously the more that you can get inside of those, the better. So hit harder with those. Dump more into your infantry stuff. Hyper focus. Okay, cool. Beasts. Let's take a look at what you got. Man, we are cutting through this today. I'm having fun. Okay, so we are looking at Blaze Sabretooth, 2 million. Have you ranked him up? What have you got for potential and stuff? promoted, all the way potential,
Level.
not pristine lifed. Oh, you haven't done any pristine life. Has there been any that you have leveled up with your pristine life?
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
So none there. Go to your next highest beast. Potential. All the way up. Okay. Okay, so you're missing out on a ton here, my man.
This is what I'm confused on the most.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a rundown on beasts because I think this is where most people have a problem. So this is where we'll spend the most of our time. Let's back out quick and just go to your main beasts. And you have chips on them too, I assume, right?
Yes.
So let's take chips off everything because chips are the next step. We're gonna spend a little bit of time on beasts, walking through what they are, how they work, all that stuff. And again, if you have any questions, concerns, or anything as we're going about this, I think you still have one. Yeah. Don't hesitate to stop me and ask. That's what it's all about.
Now I got a refrigerator. It's going to be here pretty soon. So if I have to cut you off, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Don't feel bad. We can always jump back in afterwards. I can always splice it together.
Okay. Yeah, the beast is giving me most of the headache.
All right.
For sure.
Well, because they're a little counterintuitive and a little bit backwards to what the game kind of says. Because in the game, we want to hyper focus everything, right? We're infantry mains. Right. We want to put everything into infantry and everything like that. But the truth is, the beasts, you kind of have to work a little bit differently. You kind of have to work on them together, right, as a pair. So the first thing we're going to justify is realizing that right now, how many marches do you have to send out?
1, 2 max.
2 max, which means that we're only going to be looking at the top 4 beasts that you're going to be working with. Now, what I also need you to do is go through and disconnect all of them from their support animals. Because we're going to talk about attributes and everything and how they all work. Because I noticed you've matched them all kind of with their own counterparts, correct?
Correct.
Okay. We are going to do a beast rundown for you, my man.
That would probably help me some, for sure.
Well, beasts are becoming very influential, so it's a situation now more so that if you don't understand them, they will get out of hand. I also noticed you still had chips on one of your beasts as well. I'll tell you which one. Nope, keep going. Oh, sorry, you got to click on them. I thought you were clicking on. I think it's that one you got chips on.
Yeah, I missed him somehow. I got one on that one too.
Yeah.
I could have swore I hit all those.
Yeah, I thought so too.
That one has chips.
Now, first
looks
off,
like they're all gone.
Perfect. Now, first off, back out for a second and let's look at your might. So we've dropped another 3 million.
Yes.
Because chips count towards your might, chips count towards your rating, just the same, right? They're just like armaments, so we have to be aware of this. So we want to be hyper-focusing them as well. So let's go to your beasts, and let's run through how these work. Now, beasts are going to accompany your leaders on, or your marches, but they work entirely individual of the march, right? They are their own thing. So beasts will engage in battle with other beasts, and that's where their damage goes. That's where all of their skills go. That's where everything goes. The beast will never deal any of that skill damage. They never deal direct damage to troops. None of that. Okay? It's all dealt individually within the own beast system. So every time we're talking about crit damage or counter damage or combo damage or maybe detonate damage or corrode damage, any of this kind of stuff, we're talking about specifically within the beast system. It never hits your troops. What does hit your troops is a conversion of the overall damage that happens later.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So everything we're going to be talking about is kept within the individual beast system. Okay? So if you click on the attributes of this beast, we're going to show what this beast is actually providing us. And although you have this beast at level 100, fully potentialed, right? You have all of its potential done, and it's got 6 copies. How come it doesn't have any combo, crit, counter, any extra damage, or any of this extra stuff? How come?
That I don't understand.
Because you don't have any pristine life in it.
That's where I've messed up.
Yeah, so if you go to if you click on this one, for example, and I'm only suggesting this one because right now it's your strongest one that you've invested the most in, you got the most copies of.
Okay.
So click the little shrinky button, shrink down this attributes. If you click rank up for a second, and you go to the potential side of things, and you click on that first circle. So what this is going to do, the first circle is going to provide you attack. There's 3 little sections to it. The second one provides defense. The third one provides HP. You can click on them as we go. Defense, HP. Click on the next one. You'll see it starts to add additional crit damage. The next one's going to add crit trigger rate, right? Then we go into more defense, things like that. So this is how you get those actual attributes, base attributes on your beast. We can add attributes, which we will with chips, and chips will add a lot of attributes, but the base attributes will be coming by using this pristine life.
Gotcha.
Okay?
That I had no idea.
So this is an additional part to leveling up each beast. Each beast has your level, has your promotion, has potential, and pristine life in order to level up all the way.
Okay.
Okay? And that's going to go a long way into making your beasts far more impactful in the field. Now, you're sitting on 359 pristine life, which is great. So I would suggest sitting on that now until we go through so you have a better idea on which beasts you want to work on. Because you can always get the pristine life and the biological canisters you have here. What are they called? If you click on the little green one, I don't remember what it's called. Potential extract.
Yeah.
You can always get all of that back from a beast that you put in, so it's never really a waste. You just have to basically, it's like demolishing or breaking down or resetting an armament. Same type of idea. Okay? So now that we have this understanding, this is going to give us a bigger kind of juxtaposition to what we want to do. So let's back out a second. And let's click on attributes. And let's click on special attributes ? Now, inside of the beasts themselves, this is a breakdown of how it all works, right? So you can spend your time in reading this when we got time. I'm just going to give you a quick breakdown.
Okay.
Each of these, you've got 3 main skill types: crit, combo, and counter. Crit, when you deal damage, there's a chance for you to trigger a critical hit. When you deal damage, there's a chance for you to trigger a combo. And when you get dealt damage, there's a chance to trigger counter. And that percentage is based exclusively on your base attribute number.
Gotcha.
So if you were to look at the potential, for example, or the pristine life in this animal, in this beast, and you were to add 150 crit, for example, it would equate to about, I believe, a 20% trigger rate or a 17% trigger rate or something like that.
Okay.
So the more that you add those stats and attributes, the more that they trigger. And I'll give you an example of how this works. Back out of this real quick and go to its chips. And just quick equip its chips. Okay? Back out. Click on its attributes. Now your chips have added 150 counter. Right? 13% crit damage, 8.5% counter damage reduction. This comes from the chips. Now, if you click on your special attributes ? Again, like I said, 150 translates to about a 20% trigger rate.
Yeah.
Okay? But here's the biggest part. We talk about diminishing returns. So now that we understand how these trigger rate or these skills work and how the trigger kind of works, and how to get some of those attributes on those beasts, the next question is, well, how do we pair them together? So you can pair them together like you did, where you're pairing the same one with the same one and you're stacking those abilities. But we get hit with diminishing returns here very, very quickly. And I'll tell you what I mean. 150 in the base skill equates 20%, right?
Yes.
If you were to add an extra 150 crit, so you had 300 crit, you would assume if it was equal, it would equal a 40% crit chance, right?
Yes.
It's about 37%.
So it drops.
It does. And it drops the more that you put it in there. And in order to get it to like a 70% crit rate chance, it's like 1,000 or something that you actually need for the actual crit rate trigger percentage, right? It's like 1,000 or something ridiculous.
Okay.
Goes up very, very high. So as a low spending or moderate spending or free to play player, my advice is always to balance these 3 skills as much as possible so you're getting the most bang for your buck. Just because your beast doesn't have it built in. Like if you look, for example, at your, and let's go through the Blaze Sabertooth real quick. So back out of this real quick and let's look at the Blaze Sabertooth. Let's go through its, no, the Blaze, the one that you're just on. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're a big baddie. No worries. Let's go through its skills and abilities real quickly and just see how it works. So click on the first big circle there. So here we go. Dealing damage to the target. There's a 50% chance damage to increase damage for the next time the Blaze swipes is used. So it doesn't even talk about crit, counter, or combo. It's just going to be triggering any of those counters, crits, counters, and combos. Click on your next skill. Deals damage to the target. If using the skill with Wildfire, increases the skill multiplier to this attack by 208%. So basically, again, it's just stacking. It's not specific to combo, crit, and counter. It'll just trigger combo, crit, or counter. Go to its third ability. When the skill deals a critical hit, gains Wildfire. So you're getting bonus crit, which means you'll crit more often, and you get bonus attack. And that will trigger for your second one. So you can start to see how it kind of works to trigger within itself.
Yeah.
But it's all triggering crit. And the more the crit that you have, the less that 60 crit is going to be worth.
Gotcha.
Right? Do you see how I'm saying? So if we were to go ahead and put the combo chips on this person, if you had the combo set of chips, for example, because there's 3 sets of chips, which we'll talk about here in a second. Chips are a whole nother game that add to this level, so we have to understand beasts before we talk about chips. But if we do add a different attribute to it, we can then benefit from, we can basically cross, like customize it to ourselves. If we add combo with chips, we can then add crit with the beast, and now we're adding we're having more additional trigger rate. Because the real question is this: what would you rather have? 1 skill that triggers 70% of the time, or 3 skills that trigger 30% of the time?
Yeah, I'd want the 3 skills.
Yeah, we want 3 skills that trigger 30% of the time. Because yes, it means that sometimes you might not get as much damage, but it does mean that a lot of time you will get more damage. And it's easier for us as low spending players to balance those attributes around. Okay?
Yes.
But we also need to remember a lot of this is done specifically to what the game is lucky enough to give us. So when you're going to ask me, well, which beasts do I work on? My best advice is whatever the game gives you the most of. So if the game gives you the most of this guy, put your stuff into it, because you can always get it back later. And if you are like the crazy people or like the other spenders who get the other beasts, you can upgrade Kong with a leveled up beast from here.
And we'll probably never get him.
Well, I mean, you might. This event is pretty good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of free spins for this one, and it's only 600 to get Kong. And I'm like, yes, I've spent, I think, $100 on it already, but in 2 weeks. I plan to spend like $35 a week, and that's kind of all you need. So yeah, it's still going to end up being, what is that, 70? It's still $150 a month.
Yeah.
But that's over 2 months in order to get it. I mean, it's achievable for most people, especially with the free spins that you get.
Sure.
And it's not expensive. But that's not my point. That's sidetracking. My point is, if you ever do get those, you can still utilize the resources that you put into these guys for other beasts if you want to shift later.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
So when you ask what beasts do I focus on the ones that it's giving you a lot of. So in this situation, I wouldn't disagree with putting potential life into your Blaze Sabertooth or putting potential life into your General Crab, right? One or the other, because those would be the ones that I would pair together. Because here's the next thing that we're going to think about when we're asking about how they pair together. If you look at your Blaze Sabertooth, for example, your Blaze Sabertooth provides crit and crit damage. You see that down there?
Yes.
Okay, so it provides crit and crit damage. If you click on your General Crab, he provides combo and corrode. Those are 2 additional damaging skills. So if you pair the Blaze Sabertooth with the General Crab, you're now benefiting from crit and combo and additional crit damage and corrode. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
So now we can start to stack those abilities, how we want to pair them. And as you level them up, I'm not sure if you know this, but you get attributes that are based on your inheritance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So click on your Blaze Sabertooth and attach him to your General Crab for a second. So the General Crab is providing 50% of everything that he has. Now, let's do another thing. Let's go to your General Crab. Now that we have him connected, let's go to your General Crab. And I want you to equip chips. Quick equip chips. Okay, back out. And as you'll notice, go back to your Blaze Sabertooth. Go back to the support button. We now have additional things that are coming off of that.
Yes.
Right? So we're providing the stuff that the chips provide on your General Crab at 50% additional as well. So now we have on this one, we've got an additional 75% or 75 combo and 25 crit. So if you back out and look at its attributes now. No, the attributes for your Blaze Sabertooth, sorry. Now we have combo and additional crit. And the combo is coming from your connection with the General Crab. Do you see what we're doing?
Yeah, I see that.
Is it starting to make a little bit more sense?
It is.
Right. So it gives you a lot of freedom to say, well, how do I pair this? Again, pair it with the ones that you get, the game gives you the most of. Right? Pair those ones together. It's not a bad thing to use the physical beasts in the field. They still do decently well in the field as well. So there's still freedom with those ones if you want to use those.
Okay.
And then, but in this situation, we're basically only working on 1 march, maybe 2. So you've got your main march, which is your fire beast and your water beast, right? So your Blaze Sabertooth and your General Crab. And maybe your secondary march is going to be your Ash Sabertooth and your Crystal Pangolin. Just go with the strongest ones that the game is nice enough to give you. Right?
They had just pulled up. So can we get back to this?
Yeah, sure. We can take a break. No problem. Okay, so we are recording. Let's head back to Beasts and let's dive back in.
Okay.
So, we were looking at obviously what we were going to set up for your beast pairings because you got 2 marches to think about.
Yes.
So with those 2 marches, we want to look at our top 4 beasts. The rest we can kind of pair, it doesn't really matter how we pair the rest of them. You want to have your 2 strongest, or basically your 4 strongest, set up on your 2 marches. And the reason why I would suggest pairing the way that you have, obviously, is to deal the best with attributes and things like that, and allowing a little bit more for that flexibility. And then you'll pair and then you'll have to pair 3 other pairs because you still need 5 marches for things like the arena, right? You still got to put 5 marches in the arena. You still have to do 5 marches. You still have to do multiple marches if you're doing semi-trucks, things like that.
Yes.
So you'll still end up pairing them that way, but you'll only focus on the top 4 beasts. Okay?
Okay.
So next, let's go ahead and pair your Ash Sabertooth with the Crystal Pangolin. This will be your next pairing. So for a Dut, this will be the one that you pick.
Okay.
Or not for a Dut, sorry, with Eileen. This will be the one that you pick.
Yeah.
So you can back out there. And with both of those beasts, we can also throw chips on those ones. So throw the quick equip those ones as well.
Okay.
And then same with your crystal pangolin.
Perfect.
So
Okay.
so this will be your two biggest marches, right? Obviously, you're going to pair them one and two with the marches that you have. And then for the next whatever beasts that you have, you can just pair them however you want. Doesn't really matter because you're just going to use them for things like your beast invasion and whatever. So it's just there to kind of power them up. There is a couple of things I'm going to give you some advice on, okay?
Okay.
So first things first, look at that level. You've got a level 20, 11 copy blue beast.
Yes.
Do you have, so scroll down to the very bottom for me for a second. Okay, scroll up again. Click the little up arrow with the 3 lines. Right next to the recycle button.
Ooh.
Do you see the recycle button? Very, very top left
do
above
not.
the beasts. You see that little recycle button.
Oh, yeah.
So right next to that. No, not that one. Press the one right next to that. And sort them by rarity for me.
Okay.
Perfect. So first things first, what you want to do is you want to get 1 copy of each beast. Okay. And you want 1 copy of each beast simply because of the fact that there's that one beast event. I can't remember exactly what it's called. The beast. I never remember.
Where you put 3 in each one.
Right. So you want to keep those just because. But here's the thing. The game is only going to take your top 10 strongest beasts towards your might.
Okay.
So having extra beasts doesn't matter. However, you don't want to have one of those top 10 beasts being a beast that you're never going to use. So with the green and the blue ones specifically, because of how poopy they are as beasts, I would actually suggest keeping them level 1 copy.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So by doing that, that means that you can dismantle those ones or release those ones every single time you get a copy of them. And then you can use all of those, the dust particles or whatever it is, to focus on the beasts that you want.
Okay.
So don't release them yet. Release them once you get a copy of them.
Okay.
And then when you have that one green beast that's in your warehouse, lock that one.
Okay.
Because like I said, you want to have 1 copy of each beast locked. The purples and gold, let them level up normally. For the choice ones, just in my advice is always to focus on the physical ones first. Because no matter what, you're still going to have to garrison at home. So there's nothing wrong with having a good garrison beast. And so I would always focus on the pangolin. Like for myself, I would focus on the pangolin first. But I'm also a garrison player, so that's my own prerogative, right?
Yeah, so I should probably, if I do garrison, I've got Regoro and Tom, or Regoro's max, so I guess I could add one of those to him if I ever just went into a garrison anyways.
Yeah, so I mean, you want to keep working on your garrison sets because even if, worst case scenario, you get a hit at home, right? If you could hit on your shelter, you would still want to have a good garrison.
Correct.
So putting your legend, or not legendary fragments, pardon me, but putting your elite fragment choice boxes into the crystal pangolin for garrison isn't a bad choice. And the crystal pangolin still does good in the field. I've done very well with it in the field as my hyper focus.
Okay.
Right. So that one's actually not a bad one to dump into as well.
Okay.
But you're going to let them kind of grow naturally. You're not really forced to choose which ones you want to focus on, especially as you're field fighting. Just focus on whatever the game gives you. Unless you're about to drop, unless you're about to drop thousands of dollars into beasts, I wouldn't worry about it. And
yeah, not going to be doing that.
And because, again, what we're trying to do is limit our battle rating, limit our might and stuff like that, we want to equip the beasts that we do with chips and then look at which ones we have extra and then justify what we do with the other ones. Now, you remember with armaments, we said how it's elite and like you can dismantle the greens and blues every time?
Yes.
You just keep the elites and the legendaries. With this one, it's a little bit different. You do keep the blues every so often. Like you'll still use blues until you get the purples leveled up.
Okay.
But the question then just becomes, what sets are you working on? Because here's the thing. They give you a lot of beast chips, but it breaks down very easily. Click on the chips for a second. Actually, go to your bag for a second. Do you have any beast chip vouchers? No, you've used them all, right?
I've used them all, yeah.
Okay. So inside each type, right? So inside the fire, inside water, inside grass, and inside physical, there's the 4 skill types: counter,
Yes.
combo, and crit. So this means that each type, whether it's fire, water, physical, or grass, can impart combo, crit, or counter in their sets, depending on the sets that you want to work on. Okay?
Okay.
Which means this gives you some freedom. So if you're working on a flame chip, if you're working on a fire beast, for example, but you want to add some combo, then you can build the combo chips. Maybe you want to add some crit, you can build the crit chips. If you want to add counter, you can build the counter chips. So what I'm going to suggest doing is letting them all grow naturally, dismantling all of the blues that you don't equip, right? Using those to put back into purples. But you're going to ideally be working on one of each set type. So you'll be working on one combo set for each, one counter set for each, one crit set for each. And just let them grow normally, okay? Save your chip fragments. Save chip fragments as much as you can. So that you can use them at a later time when you have an idea where to use them more.
Okay.
And then you can be a little bit more specific on the chips that you end up getting, because that way you end up in a situation like on mine, for example, I've got on my Crystal Pangolin, I've got a full elite set of combo chips because I was able to save my elite or the not elite set, sorry, a legendary set, because I was able to save my choice fragments and put them exclusively towards those chips to make sure we're getting those chips specifically. Now that I have an idea which ones I'm working on.
Gotcha. Okay, so you recommend saving them until that point, then?
I say the same thing with armaments too. Like if you look at my bag, for example, I have armament. I have at least 3 or 4 pieces of like armament frag boxes in every single one, because it just gives me choice. That means that nothing's going to be rushed. Right? I can save them until I need to use them. Gain other frags until you need to use them, and only use enough to generate one piece so that you still have some pieces left over in your bag. Because you're not getting nailed against your rating for having the frag boxes. You get nailed in your rating for having the armaments completed. Same with chips, right? So all the chips that you have in your bag that aren't equipped, not right now because we still have to equip some of them.
Yeah.
Right? You still have 5 beasts that you have to equip. But any of those extra chips are going against your rating. They're going against and they're making things harder for you. So we want to be smart with these chips as well. Okay?
Okay.
So you're going to consolidate all the chips. I mean, we've got our main 4 beasts. What you'll do in your off time, I don't think we have to do this now. You can do this kind of in your off time. Is just take your next, if you go back to your beast section for a second, and then we'll sort the list by might. I think you can do it by might. No, just by level. No. Don't sort it at all and it'll do it by might. Click on the level again so it gets rid of the check mark. Yeah, so now it'll do it by might. Okay. So what I would then do is I would look at your next 6 beasts, so scroll down a little bit, and I would simply pair those however you want, without the blue one. Don't use the blue one.
Look at that guy, no.
Yeah, I wouldn't use him anyways. Even though he's level 11, I still wouldn't use him. His skills are not good by comparison to the rest.
Okay.
So, he's going to be one that you're going to dismantle or demolish kind of as soon as you can. In fact, if I'm being honest, you could probably dismantle and demolish him now, because they're really not doing anything for you. And then as soon as you get 1 copy, you can just save that 1 copy. Because if you go ahead and release him, you're going to end up getting how many, like click on the release button for me. You end up getting, there's fragments, experience, 1,000 potential for, increasing the potential on one of the beasts you're actually going to use. Right. So it just seems to me like it's a huge importance to have that type of thing versus having him sit there where you're not really going to use him.
Okay.
So that's what I would do. And I would release the other blue beast that you have there as well. That's level 9.
That guy there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would release that one as well.
Perfect.
And then as soon as you get the copies of those blue beasts, save level 1.
Okay. And you just lock them, and that way you just have them.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, and that way you can have them. Now, there is another strategy. I'll give you another strategy. The one where you actually have to put one of each beast. There is another strategy of collecting 3 copies of the green beasts. Because you can collect multiple copies of them.
Yeah.
So if you collect 3 copies of the green beast, you can actually put the same beast. Like if you have 3 copies of the green beast, you can put all 3 of those same copies inside the selection.
Yeah.
So you can kind of game the system, and you'll still get the ×2 bonus, right? Or whatever the bonus is.
Yes. Okay. I get you now.
Right. So there is kind of a merit to having multiple copies of the green ones, but I'm a firm believer of having just 1 copy of each is good enough. If you want to have extra after that, that's fine. But it's 1 copy of each beast that you need, and the blues and greens, because of how insignificant they are, keep 1 copy level 1, dismantle or demolish or release the rest.
Okay.
Makes sense?
I'll do that then. Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. So back out here real quick. We'll take a look back at those beasts here. And if you look down at the next 6 that you have, and you can just pair them up however. So if you look, it'll be the ones with arrows on them.
Yeah.
So go up a little bit. I think you still have 2 that are above there still. Yeah. So the rhino you can pair with the... If I were you, I would do these reverse order. So I would pair this guy with the crystal pangolin or the hammer pangolin. No.
That guy there?
Yeah, so I would pair the lava rhino as the lead with this hammer pangolin as the support. And the reason why we're doing this is just to balance these out so that these next 3 lines that you'll use in battle or in wherever are as balanced as they can be in regards to the beast's power and stuff like that.
Okay.
So back out of here. Let's go back to your beast section. Next, you're going to go to your lava or the rhino right next to him.
Okay.
And pair the rhino with the Gale Draco, the purple Gale Draco.
That one there, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
And then back out, and we'll do the last pairing, which is going to be your lava rhino and the purple, or in the gold Gale Draco.
That guy.
Yep.
I see the inheritance is going up 50% too. So
yeah, so you're getting that 50% inheritance. That'll turn into a max 70 once you get your development all done.
Okay.
So that 50% means you're getting 50% of all the attributes, chips included. So what I would do is now put chips on these 6 beasts. And you can just quick equip them. It doesn't really matter. Just quick equip the chips, whatever you have.
Would you, like this one, want you to
just up level
manage
that
it? Just level it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because remember, your 10 beasts, you still want to make sure that you're working on, like, in the other ones, you're only working on 1 set at a time. So for armaments, you're only working on 6 pieces at a time, right?
Yes.
For heroes, you're working on 1 hero at a time, right? So there's a lot of these things that we're working on 1 at a time. But when it comes to beast, the tough part is you have to work on the beast as a full unit. And that beast full unit is their levels, their potentials, their pristine life, their copies, and their chips. So for every beast, you're still working on 6 chips per beast. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like you're not working on those chips. You still want to level them up. You still have to have those blues until you have every of those, because that's 60 chips that you need to be working on at the same time.
Makes sense.
Right? So that's where a lot of this is, you have them equipped, but would I go ahead and equip the other chips? No, because in reality, even though there are certain situations where you might need more than 5 marches, it's not going to benefit you more than adding the extra weight, adding the extra rating, and then not being able to use those parts. So now that we have 5 beasts or 10 beasts fully equipped with chips, right? Or hold on, do we have, scroll up to the top for a second? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. So now I would go back, look at your inventory in your beast chips, and I would look at the beast chips, and I would look at, number one, any of the blues that you have that are not equipped, I would dismantle because you don't need them and you can use them for other stuff. So just like we've dismantled armaments, you go through and unlock all those ones. And then this will give you biochemical material to get the chips or the frags for the actual beasts and chips that you want inside the beast store. And my best advice for the beast store is use your parts to buy the not the beast fragments, but the chip fragments, because chips are super valuable. Go careful. You don't want to bulk dismantle that because you got some purples.
Yeah, I see that now. The purples.
Yeah, lock all your purples. Just because, like I said, you'll end up saving them anyways. You don't have to worry about locking those. They're equipped, so it won't go anywhere. Hold on, you still have 1 purple. My OCD is going nuts.
Mine too. Where is it?
It's the brain chip, right to, yeah, that one there.
Oh, crap. That was not good.
Literally open.
Okay, sorry about that.
No worries, no worries. Take a quick advertisement break. I just gotta... Well, we're not getting a good vision here all of a sudden. Hold on. I think you might have to reset watching the stream.
Let me do it again.
There we go. Much better.
Okay. Back to the chips.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dismantle.
Okay.
Now just make sure you don't have any of those purples done. Scroll the top just to be sure. Oh, there's a purple there.
The brain again.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Now you can just bulk dismantle those. Now go to your store. There's a button at the bottom right, Biochemical Beast Store. Oh, or go the long way. That's fine too.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I was trying to save you some time. So this is where you're going to look every single week. Just like you have the armament store, this is where you're going to look every single week. And I wouldn't suggest buying the fragment pieces. For the beasts, they're kind of expensive. It's like 470. It's like 470 of the dust for 1 fragment for the beast itself. And the chips are much more influential. So in my opinion, your best bet is to right now to save as much of this dust as you can until you have a good idea on which chips you want to start working on first, and then hyper-focusing that set. Now, why do I say set? Well, do you know about the arrays? Do you understand how the arrays work?
I don't.
Okay, so click on one of the chips for a second. Don't buy it, just the actual image of the chip. Okay, so you see how it says 2-piece array and 4-piece array?
Yes.
Okay, so there's 2 sets of chips. Out of the 6 chips that you can put on a beast, there's 2 different types. You've got the arms and legs, and then you've got the brain and spine. So the brain and spine is 1 pack, and the arms and legs are 1 pack. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so with the brain and spine chip, they just have a 2-piece array, which means that once you have the brain and spine chip that is the same type, whether it's like both the overload, right? So if you look at the overload here, the overload chip versus the overload frag for the spine.
Which, dang it.
That's okay. That's fine. You only purchased one. So if you look at the overload frag for the spine, you'll see that there's a 2-piece array called Slugfest Framework. And it says crit damage plus 7%. So if you put the overload frag brain, or the overload plus brain chip, and the overload plus spine chip on your beast, that will automatically give you that plus 7% crit damage just for having that 2-piece array. The matching 2-piece array. Okay. Now, if you look at the arms or legs, because those 4 pieces together make one possible one array, click on one, you'll notice that there's a 2-piece and a 4-piece array, which means that you can, again, look at how we add stats by balancing around a little bit. You can use 2 charge chips, one on the right arm, one on the left arm, and bonus yourself with an extra 80 crit. And then choose to do, say, the combo chips on the feet and get extra combo. Or you can look at doing all 4 of the charge chips on both the arms and the legs, and then you can get that 4-piece array bonus that comes there with having all of the matching set. Where now you have this extra bonus damage. When the active skill deals a critical hit, there's a 60% chance to grant crit damage at 22% for the current attack. You see what I'm saying?
Makes sense. Okay. I do say that.
So if you hyper focus one set, and this is why I'm always suggesting one set, because I prefer the damage over the extra trigger rates. Just because an extra, extra 80, maybe 150 crit, it might not be adding as much trigger, especially as we're building them up. You know what I'm saying? Remember we were talking diminishing returns? That's right. So it now comes down to choosing what set you want to work on, and working on that set, leveling that set up evenly. Treat it as one of its own things, right? Treat that beast as one thing.
Okay. Understand that.
And the only things I would buy from this are going to be your chip pieces. Because chips are so beneficial. They are so influential in the game. They've basically redesigned beasts 100%. Like, beasts were okay before, but chips made them crazy.
You talking about those chips up here?
No, and I wouldn't worry about those chips.
Okay, so just these.
Yeah, just worry about your legendary chips. You'll get enough of the other chips to be able to build sets, and you'll get enough of the blues, and you'll still be able to use the blues, so just let the game, give you what it does.
Okay.
And then every 3 months or 6 months, one of the things you can do, which I would suggest, is to disconnect all your beasts, disconnect all your chips, take a look at what your 10 top beasts are, because they might change depending on what the game gives you, right?
Yes.
And then move around and kind of justify what you build on next. But just like we have been, you're working on one march at a time. One march includes 2 beasts, 1 leading beast, 1 support beast, plus 12 chips. So you want to make sure you have that set for every single march before you start working on another set. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay. Does this answer a lot of the questions you've had for beasts?
It does, because I had no idea what I was doing, as you could see.
Well, it's not that you had no idea. There was some idea. It's just that the game itself was not very clear on what else to do. You kind of have to justify it yourself. So once you learn some of these mechanics and how it works, it does open up how they play. And it gives you a little bit more understanding on, like, the flexibility of moving them back and forth, or choosing between different troop types, or choosing between different skill abilities, and how that works. But now that you have an idea how that works, you can start to look back in your beasts and start to put some pristine life into those legendary beasts. Because although that 1.9 is pretty okay with your chips, you can start to really increase his stats, really increase the bonuses that you get by putting some pristine life into them. And then remember, you can always get that stuff back at a later time if you want to switch it up by simply releasing the beast or merging it into a level 1 at a later time.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So I should rank his up for sure.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing that. Like, pick the beast that you want to work on and dump it into that. I'm not going to say, because pristine life is one of the hard ones to, like, come by. It's a really hard resource to get.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna, that one I'm far less, I'm far more like you want to think on that one. But
Gotcha.
but pick the beast that you want, the one that you want to work on, dump your pristine life into that and go from there. It might not be this guy, it might not be the Blaze Sabertooth, it might be the General Crab. Maybe it's the Gale Draco because you want to be a little tankier. Right? There's lots of ways to kind of, and just read through their skills. Remember that it's all kept within everything that they talk about when they talk about skill damage or any of that stuff. It's all kept within the individual system. None of that translates to the troops until your HP is done. And then it's a flat conversion on the overall damage that's dealt. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand that.
So remember that all of that counterattack, all of that, skill damage, it's all talking about just inside the beast system itself.
Okay. That's understandable.
Okay. So, we've gone through pretty much everything. We've gone through beasts, armaments, heroes, marches. Are there any other questions or things? We've gone and defluffified you, I think, a pretty decent way. We've knocked off about 8 million of your might. But you're going to be hitting a lot harder. Now you're focused a little bit better.
How about arena while we're here?
Sure.
That's my defense.
Okay, so let's delete all of it right now. Let's go ahead and look at what we're going to benefit probably the most from.
Okay.
So first and foremost, we want to have our damaging line up there, which is what? A Dut and Miyamoto, but leading with Miyamoto. Okay. And you're going to put that in the back line.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, what is your next damaging line? Who's your next leader? Eileen and who? Who would you put her with?
What do you think, Tom?
Well, Tom's a good one. Yeah, Tom's a good choice. Tom or Raiguro. To be honest, if I were you, I would probably put it with either Raiguro. Actually, no. To be honest, I'd probably put it with Tom. Give her a little bit more oomph.
Okay.
And put her in the back line too. Now we want to put up some front line. So let's go ahead and choose Raiguro.
Okay.
And then for your secondary hero, I want you to actually leave it on Alexander.
Okay.
And you might ask me why. Alexander's a really good buff hero. Look at his awakening skill. That. Yeah, he's a really good buff hero. So having him on what you'll be your front line is going to obviously have more benefits to the heroes that are around. And it provides, like I said, 40% attack, 40% defense, 40% HP. Like there's benefits to having it around, right?
Yes.
So put him out there, Raiguro on the front.
I forgot how good he looked, to be honest.
Yeah, he's good when you don't have anything else for buffs. Now, truth be told, I actually might put Eileen in the front with Raiguro, just because I remember that you're gonna have you're gonna have to put your riders and your ranged in the back.
Yeah.
You could go ahead and try to put more infantry, but I don't think you have any infantry heroes that are ready to go.
Not really.
You got Thunder.
He's just barely anything.
That's okay. You could put something like Thunder Lewis. Thunder Lewis is a classic line.
Where is he?
Yeah, Thunder Lewis is a classic line. It works really, really well. Thunder Marco you could do as well on the front line. If you wanted something else tanky, we could actually go Thunder. Yeah, actually Thunder Lewis would be good. So if you do this,
just keep it as infantry.
Yeah, just keep it as infantry. Because remember, Lewis doesn't necessarily focus all about ranged. A lot of his skill damage is not specific to anything else. So that his skill damage is still coming through no matter what, regardless of the type.
Okay.
Right. And once you get, if you end up getting Thunder Awakened, for example, he's got his Awakened skill deals 15% more skill damage.
Yeah.
Or 15% more damage to allies. So you pair him with Lewis, for example. Well, Lewis is getting an extra 15% on his skill damage, which is what you use him for.
Perfect. Okay.
Right? So that's not a bad line. Keep that, and you can put him in the front line and then move Eileen to the back. And then for your fifth line, let's look at your fifth line. Here we can justify a couple things. We can either put riders in, or we can put ranged in, or we can put another infantry. If I were you, I would probably put your riders in. Just because you have a
would
little...
Would you put Cynthia, or would
No.
you put Bella in?
I'd put Bella Chasey.
Bella Chasey.
Yeah, Bella Chasey, or... Because Cynthia's not doing anything for damage.
Yeah.
She's really not doing anything except for speed, and you don't really need that. So Bella Chasey is going to provide you at least a little bit more hitting power out of that, and of course they're not going to be tanking the damage up front, so the concept is them to be just free hitting damage in the back while they're there.
Would you move them to riders instead of infantry?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Now,
Okay.
Obviously, the main thought is to work on some more infantry heroes so that you can swap these out, because if you run 5 infantry, it's going to be better for you because your infantry is main.
Yeah.
So ideally, you want to work on at least another set of infantry heroes, something like I said, Bodala is someone you want to work on. If you've got Marco is someone you always want to get frags into. He's an amazing hero. I know it's twice as much. I know he's expensive. But he really is worth it. He really, really is worth it. He's probably one of the only heroes that I think he's really good at. What was that, sorry?
I said I got his first skill maxed out. That's all I ever did with him.
Well, that's fine. I mean, that's going to be good enough. The rest, I would suggest anytime you get a couple, like every week, put 5 frags into him or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what VIP level you're at. Every week, put a couple of frags into him, something like that.
I get say that. I get 2 every week.
VIP 12, you get 2. You get 1 a day, right?
Yeah,
no, 2 a day
or
right
2
now.
And then I got the workshop that a lot of people don't have.
Yeah, we don't got that either. So you get an extra
that was
frag a
something they
week.
got away. They got rid of that years ago.
Bastards. Anyways, that's going to give you an extra hero fragment. So something like Marco, you mean even if you look at putting like 5 frags a month into him as you build him up, he is valuable, especially for field fighting. He is incredibly valuable, Marco. For the things that he does and the things that he provides and the flexibility and the debuffing and the shielding and stuff, and the fact that all of his skills, like none of it is specific to infantry.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, he kind of flexes a lot into a lot of places, if that makes sense.
What? Yeah, which one would you concentrate next? The passive skill?
I guess I think it depends. If you're looking at fighting in the field, I would probably look at doing number 2, because that reduction of HP is huge. That's kind of what he does the best. So I'd probably go 1, 2, 4, 3 for his levels.
Okay. The HP and then attack and then shield later.
Then the shielding after.
Okay. I'll do that then.
Yeah, that's what I would suggest. At least for field fighting. You might do 1, 2, 3, 4, but I would probably do 1, 2, 4, 3. That's just how I did it. So.
Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. That makes more sense.
And then, but yeah, just put a couple of frags into him every week, and then you'll eventually have him awakened. Like I said, I know it's a long time. But if it's easier to put a couple frags into him every week than it is to try to save up 650 just to move him up a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to be your best bet there. And then I would always, if you're looking at staying in the field and if you're looking at fighting in the field, I would obviously work on Claude as well. So I think the 3 heroes that you're going to be working on kind of the most, I would work on is Claude, Bodala, and Marco. Okay. Once you get Eileen finished. And that's only because Claude is an amazing field hero. His is really, really good. His cooperation tree is really good. His leading capabilities, his buffing, debuffing, rage stealing, and stuff like that, or rage prevention and stuff like that is really good. He just does really well for field fighting. So if you're looking for another field fighter, that would be one of your sets, and then just work on Sorry, what?
You would match out cooperation and then add support.
I would do cooperation, and then I would focus to get as much rage as you can. So whether that's building the support side up to the rage, I would go with the up to the rage skill from there, and then I would probably try to grab the rage skill from the leader section as well. Right. Just because, especially when it comes to the one of the reasons why he does so well, like just to get that rage, I wouldn't put anything else into the leader side of things. I would just put it in to get that extra rage. Okay. Because the thing is, one of the reasons why he does so good is because of the fact that his, I believe his skill is 950. Right? So if you look at his trigger rate, I believe his trigger rate is 950.
Where's that at?
Go back to his skills.
Oh, yeah.
Click on the number 1. I believe it's 950. So it triggers before the opponent does, which is kind of what he does. And so if you can have that triggering more often, you're at a massive advantage. So raging out that rage is going to be a huge thing for him. Okay. So going on that cooperation tree and then getting as much rage out of the other 2 trees as you can.
Perfect. Well, I got you on this.
Yep.
This is what I've done for Miyamoto.
Do you have any reset vouchers?
Yeah.
Okay, reset it.
Well, I got it.
Oh, don't buy them. Don't buy. No.
I didn't buy it.
Okay, buy it from you should have one in your store, right? In the Alliance store? I think you can buy them there. The voucher at the bottom, yeah.
What's there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So go to him. Let's use that talent reset voucher.
Okay.
I want you to go to the farthest right node that you can. The one that looks like a bear. I want you to fill that out entirely, level 6.
Okay.
I'm going to teach you the basic setup that you're going to want to use for every rage or every skill-based hero. And this is kind of uniform. This setup right here, this finish out that bear out to level 6 is what you want to do with every hero that has the skills tree.
Okay.
Enter asterisk here if they ever introduce another hero that has skills, but you want to do it differently. But this is how you want to do it. Rage skills and rage regeneration is super, 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 super important. Okay. So fill that out. Now that gives us 33 to put throughout the infantry squad. And we want to keep this specific into the infantry squad of things. Because if you look at the general tree is poo-poo buckets. It's not really good.
Yeah, the only thing I had there was a speed.
Screw it. You don't need it. Adut and Miyamoto provide enough as it is. You don't need it. Now, remember what I said previously is we want to go with rage. So go ahead and get your rage node full out in your red side. Okay. Now let's fill out the axe side or on the other side so that we can open up both things. And then I would look at, this is where you're going to make up your mind a little bit. If you want to go the path on the left, well, you can actually go to the very, very top middle and finish and get 1 point there. I believe that takes 17 to updo.
Yep.
So you can do all of that to get 1 point there, which is going to give you okay.
I'll be ahead then. I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's fine. It just gives you a little bit of some other flexibility. You might have wanted to go with the one that looks like a gun, for example.
Okay.
You might have wanted to go that way instead of going all the way to the tip. The tip just gives you some bonus for leading infantry squads. So you're going to get that extra 50 or half percentage for the attack, defense, and HP.
Okay.
And then it also provides on the right-hand side for the shield. It also the one right above that.
That one.
Yeah. The defense of 7.5%. The only reason why I'm a little hesitant on this one is just because it only triggers when it's less than 50%. So when you're hurting is when you get more defense, which is good. but I'm always looking for the stats that are going to provide me with static buffs all the time. So,
Gotcha.
so the other option that you have is to take those 6 points that we have in the shield and in the middle one and put 4 in the gun to increase your basic attack damage, and then put 2 in the one in the middle in the spot to give you travel speed.
Okay.
So you've got 6 points to kind of play with however you want. 7 if you want to take 1 point out of the vest.
Yeah,
so if you want to
okay.
take 1 out of here, you can. Again, this is one of those 10% chance to trigger. So they're not necessarily, it's not happening all the time, but a flat reduction in damage at 20% is huge. So it's kind of worth it.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where that flexibility comes in. It's going to be almost exclusively to the skills side, and then all the rest are going to come into the infantry side or the rider side or the range side regardless. But you're going to get that skill tree filled out the exact same way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. That explains a lot.
And yeah, like I said, that same setup you'll use on any of the heroes that will provide. So you can go to Eileen, for example, and if you look at hers, it'll be the same. The only difference here, don't fill out those middle 2. So if you look at the blue side.
The blue side, okay.
Yeah, you have the one that kind of, the double-edged sword, and the one before it. That's 6 points that you don't need to put there.
Okay.
Because the double-edged sword is arguably the worst one in the entire game. Because you're dealing more damage, but you're taking more damage, and it's just a bad exchange.
Okay.
So take those.
I thought it might have answered that.
Pardon?
But yeah, I see your point. But you would get rid of both of those.
Yeah, I'd take those 6 points out, add it much better to your Predator's Rage, and then fill it into your infantry side. You'll see more effects.
Okay. Would you fill the bear out on this one as well?
100%. Yep, 100%.
Okay.
You want to generate, because remember, your rage deals about, I mean, depending on the hero and things like that, but typically your rage deals about 50% of the damage in a fight. Comes down to skill damage.
Yeah.
So you want your rage generating as much as possible. You want to put as many points into generating rage, into having those rage skills, into boosting rage skills as you can. Because that's where the majority of the damage in a fight comes from. Right?
Makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
And even though this is a 10% chance, it's a 10% chance at max stacks to gain 120 rage each time they use basic attacks. So every second.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. So that's a lot of rage generation. And think, it may be at 10%, but if you hit that twice in a row, right, which happens, that's a quarter of your rage bar. And if you equate that with the rage that you're already getting after using a rage skill where it starts at, I mean, you can have those triggering every 3 or 4 or 5 seconds.
It makes perfect sense. Okay.
Right? So that's where that flexibility comes in. So next time you get another talent voucher, start saving your talent vouchers. You've got an idea on how to take care of them now, especially for your field heroes. And it's the same. The only difference, you'll see some differences when it comes to like garrison. If you go to your garrison hero, go to Raigoro, for example. I'll give you a little bit of advice on what to do with him. So this one's going to be a little bit different. You're still going to want to, there's still a lot you're putting in the defense side of tree and less in the infantry side of tree. You're going to be using the garrison tree. The garrison tree is actually really good when it comes to garrisoning stuff. If you look at the one that looks like a shield with a star on it, for example, this one here, if you're taking a flank attack, reduces all damage. So if you're doing multi-target, or if you're being swarmed, this is huge. And with how influential swarming is now, it's almost a quintessential hone to have on every type of garrisoning hero. It's very seldom that you're running into a garrison that's one-on-one anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Especially with that change that they made to healing, or not to healing, but to the damage that you get from attacking towers.
Yeah. Okay. So would you recommend maxing this out completely? Or
No. This one's you're going to fill out the defense tree. So go to the defense side of things.
Yeah.
You're going to fill out the defense tree all the way. So get that one all the way. Because again, this one's still generating rage.
Yep.
I wouldn't necessarily go into the punching fist one. So I wouldn't necessarily fill out the one that looked like fists on the defense side. No, on the defense side. Yeah, the one that looks like fists.
That one, yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily do this one. It is still pretty good because it is a reduction on all damage. And you know, it is, it's not bad, but you're going to have to take those other points and put them in the garrison tree to have more of effect over there anyways.
Yeah.
And you're going to take points out of the infantry squad and put those into garrison. So you'll be filling out the full defensive side and then moving over into the garrison side for your garrison heroes. But that's
just fill out that.
It's a different conversation for another time. Well, we can talk about that at a, you know, when you look at starting to set up a garrison hero, we can touch base back into that. But it's kind of the same idea. So like mostly you're going to put them in the blue side of things with a little bit in the red. Like that's kind of how it goes for a lot of things. Even the siege heroes, they're going to have skill or, you know, they might have attack or something like that in the blue. If it's in skill, you're still going to dump it all in the skill and a little bit of garrison or a little bit in siege in the siege tree. Okay. For garrison, you're going to put a little bit in the garrison tree, right? For zombie hunters, you're going to fill out the zombie hunting tree entirely. For gatherers, you're going to fill out the gathering tree entirely. Right? If you look at Maxine, for example, I'm pretty sure you have. Right? You look at her hero talents. Yeah, you fill out the gathering tree entirely.
Yeah.
And then anything that's going to provide you the capability of increasing the squad march speed for gatherers, I would look at march speed. And, you know, for zombie hunters, I'd look at rage regen.
Okay.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
It is. Once it starts to break down, like, it's a lot of information that is not really well described by the developers, but once you understand it, you start to see how simple it really is.
Yeah, for sure. It makes more sense now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything else? Is there any other questions? I think we've done everything we have today, and I think we've gone through everything. Do you have any questions, concerns, or any? Have you looked at survivors? I just noticed you've got survivors there. Have you done anything with your survivors?
I have.
Okay. Go to your Miyamoto for a second for me.
Okay.
Shield effect. Okay, we're going to switch some heroes around.
Okay.
Not heroes, sorry, the survivors. Take those survivors off for me for a second. Okay. Do you have any of the special survivors? The 3 special survivors? James is one of them. You have James right there. Scroll down a little bit. Right there,
right
James.
There. Okay, yeah.
So let's put him in there. Because here's the thing. Put him in the bottom. No, in the bottom one. You see how the bottom one has the 3 sections?
Yeah.
So this will allow you to actually equip, and it'll actually trigger both of them in this special spot. So so now Miyamoto will actually get infantry squad attack and squad counter damage, so he gets them both.
Okay.
Right? So if you get the special heroes, make sure we try to use those ones when we can. Let's go to the one above it, the spot above it, and let's scroll down through the ones that you have, and let's put the strongest buff that you have. Infantry squad attack at 1.5%. Keep going. It might not be a legendary. It might be one of these ones.
Now I've got some more on the other ones. Do you think that might?
Well, we'll scroll down to the very bottom. You'll see which ones are equipped down at the bottom. Squad defense, squad attack, skill damage dealt. So you might want to put. Actually, no. Go up. You can use the other ones because your legendaries aren't strong enough. The other ones you're getting better. You're getting better stats on. So you could even put like a squad attack 1.5% or even a squad HP 0.9% from Mad Bull.
Okay.
If you wanted to equip him, for example, yeah. So go ahead and deploy him, and then go up. So now we've got attack, squad counter damage, HP. We can put. Let's see. You got another 0.8% HP. That's a good one. Squad damage reduction. 0.4%. That's a good one too from Antonio.
Okay.
So now Miyamoto, yeah, go ahead and deploy him real quick. So Miyamoto now, while Miyamoto is leading, is going to be benefiting from all of this, right? Infantry squad damage reduction, squad HP, squad attack, and squad counter damage.
Yeah.
So he's getting all of those. Now, the reason why I'm saying not using a legendary is not just because of the fact that you're going to get these, that you get better buffs because your other ones are higher level currently, but because we want to have a little bit of freedom. If you notice that these ones have not specific abilities, right? They're not infantry squad damage. It's not infantry damage reduction against range squads, right?
Yeah.
So these ones you can actually use on those other ones to benefit other infantry heroes. So go back out of here, for example, and let's look at Eileen. Okay, so just like here, she's got the ranged ones, damage dealt to range squads, basic attacks. Those are both she's still getting benefit from. But now we have more freedom to put into this other one, whether you want to do infantry squad defense or whether you want to do one of those other ones that we were talking about before. And they'll get benefit from those ones as well. So you could put shield effect there because it's an infantry one. You can put a shield effect there. Or if you had it, once you get the other special heroes, you can put the other special heroes there and get double the effect. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so like that, put the shield effect one.
See, here's the thing. I would actually go back and put the defense that you had on previously. The shield effect, I'm only suggesting you put that on heroes that have a shield already.
Gotcha.
Because if you don't have a shield, you're not getting the bonus effect.
Okay. Yeah, so like Regoro or something like that.
Yeah, on Raigoro or Boyd. Boyd is the new Raigoro, so that's there's your next one you're building up. You've got Raigoro, so that's fine. So let's back out of there. That's a good setup for that one, and let's see what you have, and let's look at actually putting it on a third set for your garrison. So let's put, instead of her, let's put Raigoro in.
Yeah, because I don't think my Boyd is good enough.
No, put in your Raigoro. Because you're going to be defending with Raigoro anyways. As an awakened Raigoro, you're going to go Raigoro Riven, you're going to go Raigoro Boyd. It doesn't really matter. There's lots of options, right? Yeah. Heck, Raigoro Bodala if you wanted to. Yeah. But here's a prime example. So you look at that bottom one, right? You've got this other one where we have skill damage dealt or range squad attack. Well, we can put that one, but let's look at actually swapping that one out for the shield effect, Garcia. So now his shield is going to be stronger, which is perfect. Right? He's got basic attack damage dealt taken, makes him tankier. Damage reduced against rider squads makes him tankier. Right? Totally wonderful. That makes sense. And you're still getting all of the buffs of all of those survivors.
Okay. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Right? So now, and because you wouldn't be using Julia to lead anyways, now Raigoro, who's going to be sitting on your wall, has extra defense against it. And don't get me wrong, we're talking 1.2%, right? So it's not like it's a huge effect, but every little bit does matter, especially when we're talking about being effective and efficient.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, what I would suggest you do is save your new March lines in your March folder or your March saves, so that we're not accidentally sending out your ranged and your riders and things like that. So save your number 1. Right? Save that as your number 1.
Oh, hold on. Let me get back to that. Dang it. Okay.
You got to press the save button. Nope. You did it again.
Why did I do that again?
Because you keep pressing the folder button instead of the save button. You don't have to press the folder button. You can just press the save button at the bottom. Save it, number 1. There you go.
Yeah.
Now let's go to your number 2, which is going to be Eileen and Raigoro. Eileen and Tom. I would go Eileen Tom so you have Raigoro on your wall. Heck, you could even go Eileen Claude once you get Claude woken up. You know what I mean? Like that's how good Claude is. So you save that on number 2. I would then delete 3, 4, and 5. So back out of this little save side. Click on them, and then click on the save button or the folder button. Click on the little settings button at the top. and delete 3, 4, and 5. So this way, oh, hold on. Go to your Eileen and Tom line. Go to number 2. You need to add more troops. You don't have full troops here yet. There, now save that one.
I didn't do it. There we go.
Perfect. So now these are your 2 fighting lines. You've got your main line, you've got your number 2 line, and if you ever wanted to, you can run Miyamoto Eileen. If you're only doing 1 in the field, you can run a Miyamoto and Eileen, and that's not a problem either, and that'll auto-generate for you.
Okay.
Okay. But if you're running
Perfect.
2, these are the 2 you run. And I would save, even if you're looking at saving like zombie lines, like I know some people that'll do their zombie hunting lines as well.
Yeah.
It's the same concept. So you just save them either in your load save files or save them in your mass deploy files.
Okay.
All right.
All right. That sounds good.
But I think that's pretty much it. I think we've gone through everything. We've talked about everything. We've gone beasts, heroes. I think we've got you set up. I think we've even shaved off a little bit more off of your rating and your might. Yeah, so we're right, like I said, we're right about that 8 million off what we were looking at. But I think you're much better set up now to be, hitting stronger and harder in the future.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate the help.
No problem, man. No problem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for tuning in, and thanks again to Fattyslims for joining us on the channel. I know it's sometimes a little bit of a headache to have to go through, or sometimes a little bit of a risk to put your entire information out there regarding the game, but obviously at the end of the day, it's done for the community, and I really hope you guys are enjoying. And if you guys are enjoying these segments as much as I am, do me a favor, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you like about them, even what you don't like. It's an open conversation, okay? So let me know in the comments section below. If you haven't already, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, and if you can, click that join button to become a member today. Help the community just a little bit more, because as we know, IGG doesn't care about us, and YouTube doesn't care about us very much. So if you can help us out, click that join button, become a member today. Other than that, love, peace, chicken grease, and until next time, stay lifted.
2, 1, let's go.